I've been in Anchorage, Alaska since January 5th, 1965.
We moved here in 1986.
1986? Where did you move from?
We moved from Seattle.
I was born here. My family moved out to Denver, I believe in 95, came back in 97, been here since.
I've lived in Anchorage for 10 years, so since we moved from Cameroon, we came straight to Alaska and we've been here ever since.
And what is your ethnic background?
African American.
Black, African descent.
I am a third generation Japanese American.
So we just became citizens in 2013, so it's a very recent thing.
Came up from the segregated South in Louisiana because friends of mine were here, the LaViege family. They convinced me to come up because at the time I was involved in civil rights down in Louisiana, involved with CORE, Congress of Racial Equality. And my grandmother, and probably my mother as well, were afraid that I was going to get lynched. I was supposed to only be here 2 weeks, and like most people, I'm still here.
I value the vast diversity that it has as far as its community members and just what each ethnic group has to offer the community. I think it's really enriching towards one another when we sit and take the time to celebrate.
We just celebrated here in Anchorage the centennial, which was to reflect on how Anchorage came about, how it was first founded and how it was first developed. And great proposals and great presentations were done, but it all seems to center around the European involvement. That presentation leaves young people of all races, white, black, and native, with the notion that those people didn't do anything. Those people have no value. Those people don't contribute. There were contributions made by African Americans that are lost because we don't highlight it or keep it as a thought of value.
Diversity can go either way. It can be divisive or it really can be very advantageous.
With diversity, there's always going to be some sort of racial, tension.
We've really got to do that real hard work of getting to truly know each other, engaging sincerely with each other, and more importantly, working collaboratively in business together. That's when the real rubber meets the road, when we can share not only our dance and our songs, but our economy.
For someone to sit and tell you that racism does not exist, discrimination does not exist, bigotry or prejudice does not exist, it's completely false because it exists. The only unfortunate thing is that the people who face those factors are the only people that really understand that it's going on. So for someone who doesn't understand it, it doesn't exist.
I'm finding that there is tension building between the races.
People do this internet thing where they'll make a post, right? And they'll make the post public. And they'll say something that they probably would never say in person. So you just need one guy to start the fire and say something that's totally off base, and then you see this influx of all these negative conversations that are going on, and it's almost like it's definitely sort of the parallel to what happens in real life.
There are a lot of voices that I don't think are being heard.
Look who's in the inner city and who's in the suburbs. It's the same thing. It's just economics and color lines really blend together.
What's done in boardrooms, exclusion, and what's done in hiring offices, exclusion, is just as painful if it occurs today as it was back then.
At the end of the day, I can close my computer and go to sleep. I know that I've said whatever I've said, and that's the end of it. But when I have a conversation across the table with somebody, there's an exchange of ideas, and at the end of the day, I'm like, hey, you know what? I did offend you. I apologize. What can I do to make it better? Or, you know what, let's agree to disagree and go our separate ways. But with the internet, it's just you're an idiot, he's an idiot, we're all idiots, and that's the end of it. You know what I mean? So those are sort of the negatives, I think, of diversity without inclusion.
Of course, there's racism in police. I think I consider that as the fact in my own life, in my own experience, in my friends' experiences. December 8th, I believe, 2015. 14. I led a Black Lives Matter rally, right? And the diversity of that rally was amazing.
To me, it's like a flashback when we said Black Power. People thought we were saying kill the whiteys. What we were saying is that we are downtrodden. We have been told that we have no pride. So in order to overcome that feeling of inferiority, we had to go Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest. So this is the same cry that the youth are saying today. We have been told and we have seen so many examples of black lives being wasted.
We have a ways to go.
I think Anchorage is far more inclusive than other cities. But as with anywhere or anything, there's always room for improvement.
We kind of have to learn how to manage life with one another and respect, everybody's space. So when you have kids that grow up from a really young age, understanding each other, it makes for a better adult, I think.
We're trying to work at how we can get people from different ethnic groups to sit down and have meaningful dialogue so that they can learn more about each other.
History keeps us connected to our past and gives us a bridge from which we can spring forth with a brighter future.
Everybody has certain prejudices, that's a reality, but I think it is a sign of growth when you start taking steps. It's like, and reevaluating yourself and looking yourself in the mirror. It's like, hey, I've got to change this about myself. This is the only way we grow as a people.
Just live together, love each other, learn from each other, and grow with each other. Yeah.
We are diverse and we are wonderful, but we have much work to go in those concrete areas where significant change can be made.